Introduction. The meaning of railway can be translated based on Oxford language as a track made of steel rails along which trains run or a network of tracks with the trains, organization, and personnel required for its working. When it comes to railway transportation, it is a means of transport from one place to another on vehicles which run on tracks, and it is commonly used by government or public as a form of transport for commodity and good transportation over long or short distance that cost efficiently. Problem statement. Even though trains are among the greatest modes of transportation, the number of users declines as more cars are driven on the streets. As time passes, the usage of rail transit falls at an alarming rate, and the number of car accidents caused by an increased pattern of driving become horrifying. Research objective: to explain the history of rail transport in Malaysia, to study the types of rail transport in Malaysia, to identify the advantage and disadvantage of having rail transport in Malaysia to citizens. Research question: what is the history of rail transport in Malaysia? What are the types of rail transport in Malaysia? What are the advantages and disadvantages of having rail transport in Malaysia to citizens? Significance of research. The research paper will aim to look into the history of rail transportation in Malaysia, as well as how it evolved over time to become common public transportation in today's world. Investigating the history of rail transportation in Malaysia allow us to appreciate the beauty of trains, as well as the inventors of rail transportation who have enabled us to enjoy such magnificent public transportation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NADHIRAH binti Azman with matrix number 1223210. So I'm going to present about the discussion of research, which is the first one, the history of rail transport in Malaysia. Rail transport in Malaysia has played a vital role in shaping the nation's economic and social landscape, providing the vital means of connectivity and transportation for over a century. The rich history of rail transport in Malaysia dates back to the colonial era when the British introduced railways to facilitate the efficient movement of goods and people across the diverse landscape of the Malay Peninsula. The inception of Malaysia's railway system can be traced to the late 19th century. The first attempt to build a railway in Malaysia dates back to the second half of the 19th century. In 1869, construction began on a 32-kilometer railway between Johor Bahru and Gurun Pulai. Unfortunately, it was never completed. The next attempt to build a railway line was in 1881, which took 4 years to complete. The first train in Malaysia arrived at Taipei Station on 1st June in 1885. Hereby, I'm going to brief shortly about the chronology of the history of rail transport in Malaysia. Firstly, the train was operated by the Malayan Railway, which is now known as Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad (KTMB). In 1886, another line was extended to Kuala Lumpur and Port Swettenham, which is also known as Port Klang. In 1891, a new line between Seremban and Port Dickson and Telok Anson was connected on Tapah Road. In 1869, the Federated Malay States Railway (FSMR) was created and had merged all the 4 lines. In 1923, the Johor-Singapore Causeway was opened, which then connected Singapore's rail network to the rest of Malaysia. In 1995, KTMB was introduced electric shuttle operation, which increased the efficiency of traffic between Kelang, Selangor, and Seremban Negeri Sembilan. In 1996, light rail service, aka LRT, was previously called System Transit Aliran Ringan, better known as STAR LRT, was introduced. In 1999, a second light rail service was fully operational, and it was established under the name Project Usaha Transit Ringan Automatic Sendirian Berhad Putra to complement the STAR LRT. In 2002, Prasarana took over LRT operations under its trust subsidiary Rapid Rail Sendirian Berhad. The STAR LRT was renamed as the LRT Ampang Line and LRT Sri Petaling Line, while the Putra LRT is now called the LRT Kelana Jaya Line. In 2016, Sri Petaling Lines is extended to Subang Jaya and the Kelana Jaya Lines was extended to Puchong. These two lines also share a common southern terminal, which is Putra Heights. As we know, MRT stands for Mass Rapid Transit System, is the latest urban rail transit project of Prasarana, which is also operated by Rapid Rail Sdn Berhad. The development of Malaysia's rail system continues with upcoming projects such as LR33, MRT3, and East Coast Rail Link (ECRL), and the KL Singapore High Speed Rail (HSR). This will extend our country's railway line by more than 3,000 km, which represents a huge transformation, especially if we return to our starting point in 1885. The railway system is vital to economic growth and people's well-being, as people use it because connectivity creates economic and social benefits. The railway system in Malaysia comprises various types of rail, each serving specific purposes and connecting different regions, from urban transit system to long-distance travel. These rail networks contribute to the efficiency and connectivity of Malaysia's transportation landscape. Here are the types of rail transport that we have in Malaysia, which are KTM Commuter, KTM Intercity, ETS, Skyport Link, KL Monorail, LRT, MRT, and ERL. Next, we move on to the advantages of having rail transport in Malaysia. The first one is reliability. Rail transport is often considered more reliable than road transport, as trains are less susceptible to weather-related disruptions and traffic incidents. This reliability can be crucial for the timely movement of goods and passengers, fostering a more sustainable and cost-effective mode of travel, making rail transport a dependable choice for individuals and businesses alike in Malaysia. The second is efficiency and speed. The trains can maintain a constant speed, reducing travel time compared to road transport. It also helps alleviate road congestion by providing an alternative means of transportation. No matter whether it rains or shines, commuters get to work reliably and on time despite traffic jams and roads. And on the other hand, partial closures and accidents can cause floods and traffic congestion. The third one is budget-friendly in mobility. The rail services can lead to reduced travel times and fuel consumption, translating into direct savings for individuals. Moreover, the availability of affordable ticket options and commuter passes further contributes to economical travel for citizens who rely on rail transport regularly. It also offers reasonable fares to attract lower-paid workers, students, and the elderly, and make people to forego private vehicles. Now we move on to disadvantages of having rail transport in Malaysia. The first one is limited coverage. The rail network in Malaysia is not as extensive as road networks, limiting its reach to certain areas as many suburban and rural regions often lack sufficient rail connectivity. This limitation forces them to rely heavily on other alternative, less efficient modes of transportation such as buses or personal vehicles. Due to that, it can be more time-consuming and costly. The second one is affordability. Hidden costs may occur associated with last-mile connectivity for citizens relying on rail transport. Some railway stations are situated at considerable distance from residential areas or workplaces. Commuters may need to invest additional time and money in accessing the stations, either through private transportation feeder buses or e-hailing services. The last one is dependency on single mode. Even though it offers efficiency and reliability, citizens may face challenges when the rail system experiences disruptions, maintenance issues, or unexpected delays. Frequent train delays and breakdowns will greatly impact the reliability and attractiveness of rail transport for commuters, which lead to longer journey times and discourage people from using the rail transport.
Conclusion. From its humble beginnings in the late 19th century, the Malaysian railway system has grown into a diverse and modern network that caters to various travel needs. Commitment to continuous improvement is evident through the introduction of driven train service, including KTM Intercity, KTM Commuter, ETC, and integration of urban rail transit system like LRT, MRT, and ERL. Rail transport in Malaysia presents a multi-faced impact on citizens with both advantages and disadvantages shaping the overall transportation landscape. The ongoing development and modernization of rail networks, coupled with strategic planning, can help maximize the positive impact of rail transport on the lives of Malaysian citizens. Ultimately, Malaysia can create and maintain a well-integrated and sustainable transportation system that combines the strength of various modes, including rail, is essential for fostering economic growth, improving accessibility, and enhancing the overall quality of life the citizens of Malaysia.